amazing day up to this point. I am your host, Jamarl Thomas, the moniker Progressive Soapbox, but I am getting sick of that word progressive because it is being misused to some degree. Ocasio-Cortez. So the Democratic Party has declared war. And I'd go with that. I'll stay with that. If sanctions are an act of war, then the Democratic Party has declared war. DCCC, to be specific, has essentially put out notice. They put everyone on notice that if you work with any person or party to try to unseat an incumbent, that it will cut off working with you. You will be blacklisted, essentially blocked out. We would have nothing to do with you. Now, you can imagine that lefties, particularly lefties, those like Ocasio-Cortez, that is outright said, we are trying to get rid of incumbents that are not towing the narrative of their constituents, meaning your constituents want something and you are not towing that line. There are things that we are trying to get accomplished in Congress that you're not towing the line. You're not allowing us to get our agenda through, which means that we need someone else who can help us get our agenda through. That is what should be done, especially if you're trying to get something accomplished. What are you supposed to do? Just let the guy be a cog in a wheel and preventing you from getting what you're trying to get accomplished? She has stated her objectives, and the public itself, in many respects, have agreed with some of those. Well, on the ones to which the public agrees, we need this guy to toe the line. That said, in their declaration of war, Ocasio-Cortez didn't take this as just kind of shirking. Her, Ayanna Pressley, Rokana, many of them have spoke out saying, whoa, this is not the way to go with this process, but the Democratic Party has, for the most part, kept that line. We will blacklist anybody that works with any candidate to try to unseat the incumbents. To be fair, Ocasio did kind of put out this thing of, we will try to unseat various Democrats that don't necessarily help us with our agenda. But let's be very clear, sanctions are an act of war. And these guys are supposed to be in the same party. This is a little heavy-handed. Her response to this, God, I love. And I don't know how much further you can go with it, but I like the thought of just not necessarily accepting it as, oh, well, golly gee, if that's what you're going to do. She has come out with various tweets telling people to not donate to the DCCC. Essentially, look, don't donate to the Democratic Party if this is going to be the line to which they toe, because your donations to them don't help us. Donate directly to the candidates themselves. And then goes further and putting various candidates to which people can donate to that she believes are trying to get things accomplished. And at the very least, I guess you can say she gives her seal of approval to. I don't think she would have shown them otherwise. And saying, look, donate directly to these people. Donate directly to the candidates. Do not donate to this organization if this organization is going to behave in this manner. God, I love that. Absolutely love that. Ayanna Pressley also came out with various tweets making this kind of point of, you guys wanted diversity, and this is going to hurt that in the party itself because people like me would have never gotten in office. Hell, for that matter, Ocasio might not have gotten in office. And let's be very clear with this. Diversity is to some degree a political tool. It's not necessarily something that the party cares about. It's the fastest thing going. It's like the Republican Party choosing the Tea Partiers as a way of energy into the party itself. Lefties are a way into the party. These guys, at the end of the election cycle, they say, yes, we're a diverse party. And those other guys over there, with allusions to Trump being racist, we're a party of diversity. Look at the amount of grassroots, et cetera, et cetera. Missing the point that new energy in the party is new energy into the party. It's going to be something different. And it may be something that's opposed to the way that you have been doing business as usual. Ayanna Pressley is opposed to the way they've been doing business as usual. Ocasio is opposed to the way they've been doing business as usual. And some of these people have become extraordinarily outspoken. I guess my point is the hegemony of the party itself is being challenged. And the way the party is responding to this is to try to stop that, put a brake on that ability of change to the order of the party. Because whatever you want to think about what the Democratic Party is. I guarantee you that the upper echelon of the party itself is not in line with the new energy that's coming into the party. Meaning that upper echelon of the party to some degree is out of sync with what society wants as a whole. You go policy by policy, healthcare, expansion of Social Security, taxes. Taxes, that's a big one. Well, the majority of the population says, do not lower taxes on the rich. It is onerous. And yet it takes place. And it takes place in both parties, be it Democrat or Republican parties. Especially taxes on people making $250,000 or above. They're not working in our favor. They're working for something else. And that needs to kind of be questioned on why are they working for something else when the population itself wants something fundamentally different. The fact of the matter is you can't get something fundamentally different if the same dinosaurs are, being a finger in the dike of sorts. Let's look at Ocasio's tweets, and then let's go to Ayana's. So let's flip to this. Damn it. There we are. The DCCC's new rule to blacklist plus boycott anyone who doesn't do business with primary challengers is extremely divisive and harmful to the party. My recommendation, if you're a small dollar donor, pause your donations to the DCCC and give directly to the swing candidates instead. Some great ones. Mike Levin, California, a swing seater whose principal tough advance on climate change. He consistently speaks about the issues facing his community and gives a genuine passion for service that's clear to anyone who meets him. Here's another one, Lauren Underwood, a nurse by training and one of the straightest shooters to the freshman class. I love her frank, upfront style about what's important to the community and country. She's phenomenal, compassionate public servant. Give here. Katie what is that? Katie Porter, I'm going to take it, is a financial services hearings badass. Look up her questioning in her story as a survivor is a story of resilience. Donate here. I love that. I love this. God, I love this. I love this. Now, Ayana takes somewhat of a different, less, I guess you can say, militant tact, but it still gets her feelings across. This afternoon, I spoke with the Democratic Campaign Institute, sponsored by Mass Democrats, which brought together current and future candidates, staffers, and activists from across Massachusetts. I was inspired to be with such a diverse group looking to engage further in our democracy. But under the DCCC's new rule, too many of those in attendance will continue to be excluded from the Democratic Party institutions. I am particularly concerned about the potential impact of this rule on diverse vendors. The fact that I challenged an incumbent meant a lot of folks were told not to come anywhere near my campaign, but I was lucky to build a dynamic, innovative team of staff and consultants who understood the challenges our campaign faced and who were willing to take the risk. Without their willingness to go against the status quo, it's very possible that I wouldn't be in Congress. The DCCC enacts this policy to blacklist vendors who work with challengers. We risk undermining an entire universe, especially women and people of color, whose ideas, energy, and innovation need a place in our party. I am a cynical SOB. I don't think they care. I'm sorry, I don't think they care. This works from a political angle, but from the standpoint of you changing the party itself, yes, we want you in the party. No, we do not want you changing things. We do not want you changing things. We want you to accept us as we are and remain the corrupt party that doesn't get anything done. So right here. So let me be clear. I believe fiercely in the potential of our party, but we cannot credibly lay claim to prioritizing diversity and inclusion when institutions like the DCCC implement policies that threaten to silence new voices and historically marginalized communities. The lesson of 2018 is that our party is made stronger by the inclusion of diverse, disruptive candidates and vendors who bring different perspectives and experiences. Look, your party doesn't, certainly at some point, it has to be clear to you that the upper echelon of the party that has put its finger on various campaigns throughout the United States is not necessarily interested in diversity and inclusion, nor is it necessarily interested in this thing of allowing new voices and all this other stuff. There is an ideology at work that wants to perpetuate itself. And things that threaten that ideology, it wants to silence or at the very least mitigate. It will use you to a certain degree for political, lecturing about, oh, look how diverse we are. But they want that diversity while you shut up from being in the party. They don't want your voice. They want you to shut up. They want your vote. And they want to use you as a prop of sorts. At least that's the way I look at it. I could be wrong. But I would say this. Taking this action of blacklisting and applying sanctions to a large segment of the party, I would call the Stockholm Syndrome lefties, is heavy-handed, and it kind of backs up my point. If you are trying to challenge the orthodoxy of the party, we don't like that. We don't like that. We like our ideology the way our ideology is. Jesus Christ, I can't get it out. All right, I'm going to end this here. I just thought this was awesome, and I wanted to call attention to it because I thought it was pretty badass. Don't give to the DCCC if they're going to put this rule in place. I don't think you should have been given to the DCCC anyway, but fair enough. I'll end this here. Thanks all.